Procrastination doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like something that happens to you. One moment you intend to start, and the next moment you're doing something else. Not because you chose to, but because the choice seemed to disappear. That's not an accident. If procrastination feels automatic for you, let me say this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not weak, you're not lazy, you're not broken. Procrastination feels automatic because it is automatic. And once you understand why, it stops feeling so personal. In this video, I'm going to show you why procrastination bypasses your conscious choice, what's actually happening before avoidance shows up, and how to work with this response instead of fighting it. This isn't about discipline, it's about understanding the system you're already inside. Most people describe procrastination like this. I was about to start and then suddenly I wasn't. It feels sudden. It feels unpredictable. It's almost sneaky. You don't decide to procrastinate. You notice it after the fact. And because you don't see the moment it starts, you assume the problem must be motivation or willpower, but procrastination doesn't begin where you think it does. Avoidance is the end of the process, not the beginning. Most productivity advice assumes this order. You choose to procrastinate, you avoid the task, you need to choose differently. But that's not how it actually works. Procrastination isn't a bad decision, it's a protective response that activates before decision making fully comes online. By the time you're scrolling or avoiding, the system has already shifted. You didn't opt out, you were rerouted. Here's the key insight. Procrastination becomes automatic the moment a task changes the emotional temperature, when it stops feeling neutral and starts feeling loaded. That shift might sound like, this is important, I can't mess this up, this says something about me, I should already be further along. The task itself hasn't changed, has it? But internally, the stakes just rose. And when stakes rise, your nervous system takes over, not to sabotage you, to protect you. Under pressure, your nervous system asks one question: is this safe? Not logically, not verbally, instantly. And safe here doesn't mean physical danger, it means emotional safety, or the safety of your identity, expectation safety, uncertainty tolerance. If the answer is unclear or negative, your system shifts into protection mode, and protection mode does two important things. It narrows attention, it prioritizes short-term relief. That's why procrastination feels automatic. Your brain isn't choosing avoidance, it's choosing relief. This is why telling yourself things like, I just need to start, this isn't a big deal, other people do harder things, all of those things rarely work. Logic operates in the prefrontal cortex, but under pressure, that part of the brain goes quiet. You can know what to do and still feel unable to do it. Not because you're irrational, because the system in charge has changed. Once avoidance happens, guilt shows up afterwards quickly, and guilt does something dangerous. It raises the stakes. Now the task isn't just important, it's overdue. It's carrying self-judgment, it's carrying weight on your identity, a sense of failure. So the next time you approach it, the nervous system flags even more threat. The response becomes faster, stronger, more automatic. This is how procrastination becomes a habit without being a habit. It's a conditioned safety response. When you understand that procrastination is automatic, something important shifts. You stop blaming yourself. You stop escalating the pressure. You stop trying to overpower a system that's just trying to protect you. And once the blame drops, you regain choice. Not at the point of avoidance, but earlier, at the moment pressure enters. That's the moment that matters. If you wait until avoidance shows up, you're already late. The pressure is already high and safety is low, self-talk is harsh. But if you catch the moment a task becomes difficult, when I'll do this turns into I need to do this right, you can intervene before procrastination locks in. That's where momentum is preserved. When you notice that internal shift, do this. First, pause. Don't push forward. Second, name it. This just got difficult. Third, ask one question. What feels unsafe about starting this right now? Starting, not finishing, not doing it well, just starting. Then reduce the task until it feels almost too easy. Make it a 15-minute micro mission. Lower pressure before you ask for action. That's how you interrupt something that feels automatic. This works because you're no longer trying to control behaviour. What you're doing is regulating pressure, and pressure, not laziness, is what drives automatic procrastination. When safety returns, action doesn't need to be forced, it becomes available again. So, hear this today: procrastination feels automatic because it is automatic. It's a protective response to pressure. It's not a failure of character. You don't need to fight it, you need to notice it sooner. If you want a clear, step-by-step way to work with this, to reduce pressure early and rebuild momentum without burnout, the Momentum Reset method is linked in the description. And if this resonated, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know, what's the first sign you notice when a task starts to feel heavy for you? You don't need more discipline. You need a system that works with your nervous system.